And welcome to Fatboy FadeAway Sports, episode 179. Joining you here Sunday morning, Father's Day morning here. And we got the full crew. Amanda back in the game. I think it's probably been over maybe 2 years here, Kev. It's been a while. How you doing out there?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good. We had to move you inside. We were joking about the bird that was chirping away over there with it. McGurk, you were at the Giants game yesterday, tired all week, and he has the energy to watch a terrible offense in San Francisco. How was that yesterday?
I mean, just terrible talent on both teams. I was like, what am I paying for? I didn't pay. I got free tickets, but I was like, who would pay for this outside the stadium? The Angels and the Giants are lacking a lot of talent.
So now I was curious, is Emily a fan now of going to these games, or is she more like, Tyler, like, that's where I'm still going with these things? Or does she let's go. Let's hit it up. Let's go to the game.
I mean, if we have free tickets, I don't think she wants to spend like top dollar for tickets to go. But she likes going. She enjoys the games. She likes the food.
Even after your last San Francisco experience, losing Bentley to the couple weeks that we had.
No, that was not good. That was not
good. Case, what's up?
Man, just a beautiful day, man. Chilling. Happy to be with all three of you, my brother, my sister, and my other brother from another mother. So, things are good, man. Happy Father's Day to you and Tyler.
Thank you.
Hope you guys are blessed and glorious Sunday. And Cub, it's good to see you, my sis.
Good to see you too. And I should note this is Darren's first Doodle Dad Day. He's officially a Doodle Dad.
We are a fan of we have the golden doodle that way, and she is still a pain in the butt, but it still makes it work. She's getting better at it though. She's getting better. I finally get the walk thing. The kids though. I'm telling you, that was my biggest issue with getting the dog are the kids going to actually do anything with it? Derek is times he'll do stuff, but I'm like, come on, man, let's have a little initiative. At least let's walk the dog. Let's play with it or something. Xavier at least will run it around at least get it tired. So, except for Xavier always fires up the dog at night. I'm like, knock it off.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Knock it off. Don't fire him up. All right, man. I asked you to join us this morning because it's been a while, obviously, since you've been on. And I thought it'd be interesting as we kind of been talking about this Caitlin Clark entering the WNBA, some of the, just interesting vibes that have come out just everywhere out of that, other than sometimes just her play on the court, and how that's even been a little bit always, it seems like, kind of attacked every day, and how they're asking the other players about it, and how they kind of seem to now be a little annoyed by it as well. Tyler, I'm going to throw it to you before we get this thing started. I'll let you kind of get it going because I feel like this is a topic you tweet more than me about. I feel like it's on your mind. I know Casey has his view of it too, but let me kind of start with you and let you kind of go at my sister at that.
Go at her. I'm not going at anybody. My view is just we've talked about it before. It's all style. Like, people want to watch Caitlin Clark because he plays aesthetic style of play where the likes of AJ Wilson, who's a much better player, or Ozza, whatever the hell her first name is, much better player, much more efficient. Nobody wants to watch 8-footers. I can go watch the high school game and watch people taking 8-footers and putbacks and rebounding, and people want to see the Steph Curry style of play. Like we saw in the NBA when Steph came in, numbers went up. You look at the NBA Finals this year, numbers aren't there. When Steph plays, the numbers are always there, and that's what I think it is. I don't think it's a race thing. Obviously, there's certain people. The race factors. But I sent you a video and there's an Angel Reese layup where I'm like, this is 5th grade layupping with the opposite hand. I'm sure you see kids in your school who can have an can do that. A jump stop on a fast break, a 2-footed layup. I don't know. That's just mine. I think it's just stylistic. I think Caitlin Clark plays the style. She goes up and down. She's a great passer. She gets everybody involved and she takes crazy shots.
Here's the play you're referring to. This is
the uh-oh is so hilarious in this too.
Sky force a turnover. Angel Reese off to the races. Will lay it in.
Tyler.
Very fundamental. But it's not going to bring in the crowd.
Amanda, go ahead. What's your thoughts on her entering the league and some of Tyler's thoughts there?
I had kind of two different opinions on it. At first, I kind of was like, why are all these players like giving her so much hate? Like, she's bringing so much to the league. Like, they should be not grateful, but like appreciative of, how much attention the WNBA is getting. But then on the flip side, when I was thinking that, I was kind of like, well, if I was playing in the WNBA, like, I would be kind of like pissed off. Like, here's this newbie coming in, and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, look, the numbers are going up. Like, you guys should be appreciative of her. Like, that would irritate me. So I kind of like understand both sides of that part, but I do think like she brings a different element to the game. Like, she brings offense, which people want to watch. People don't, don't get me wrong, defense is great to watch, but people are watching because of the buckets that are scored. And she does make some great shots. And I think it's hard to deny that.
I kind of want to focus on that second part you brought up about the other, like how maybe if you were on the players and you have this person coming in kind of looked upon as a god in a sense, like she's broke the all-time scoring record, like supposed to kind of change the league a little bit right now, but she got 15, 5, and 6, so nothing to shake out right now, but it's not 25, 5, and 6 or something like that. But my point is, like, I told Tyler, I feel like on the men's side of things, like if like a Shaq came in or somebody like that, or a LeBron, like, a dominant figure, and they knew it. Like, most of the older guys, they'll go at him, but they also know this guy's next. I don't know if I'm getting that feeling yet from the WNBA players, or of a whole yet, or that vibe where it's like, we're willing to accept this lady's next. I understand they're going at her, and I get that part. That's just natural competition. But I'm not so sure all these other players are like, no, I don't necessarily think she is the savior. And so I'm curious about like that. I don't know. That part to me is a little bit interesting.
Yeah, it's hard because I don't, like I said, like, I think she's a good player. Do I think she's like made her like, say, is she like a LeBron James or a player like that where she dominates?
That type of impact when like they have that height coming in.
I don't necessarily think that, but I think like Tyler brought up, like, I think she does have that aesthetic game, and that's why people watch. But I think as another player in the WNBA, you're probably thinking the same thing. Like, what's so special? Like, she can shoot, makes good shots. But other than that, like, I think, which is why people are giving her so much crap during the games, is because they want to like almost prove that she's not that good, which is not good, but I'm like, that's just part of the game, like you said.
Yeah, that part can't be bothered. Case, what's your thoughts on this?
So there's a lot to unpack there. I would say, first, she's great for women's basketball because she's got eyeballs that have never been there before. And the problem when you have new eyeballs, everyone has a different opinion. And right now, what we're bringing in is race. We're bringing in she's from Iowa, so you have a lot of different fans that are watching the game for the first time, and they have a lot of first opinions. So, which is creating narratives that maybe are unfair and untrue. And for Caitlin Clark, I think she's handled it extremely well, especially being in her position, because she's really not in social media. She's responding to a lot of the social media. And even yesterday, Serena Williams, who spoke on that, who's lauded as one of the best tennis players of all time, the phenom teenager that came up in difficult times, she even said, I pretty much approve of Caitlin Clark's handling of the situation, because there's a lot, what she was saying, a lot of people in Serena Williams, so to speak, like those people will be canceled for even like having those opinions and saying what they were saying. So I think Caitlin Clark's kind of in a position of you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But the one thing I think the ladies, which Amanda spoke on, is I would say, like, prove it to me. Let me see it for more than just one season. Let me see it for 2. Let me see it for 3. Let me see it for 4. And right now it's, I would say a little resentful because of the position that she's in, and getting a $28 million contract with Nike is, setting the bar pretty high. And, everyone's claiming that, not her, but everyone on the outside row is claiming, no, she's responsible for the charter flights. She's responsible for new incoming like attendance, which a part of it she is.
Yeah.
But there's also a foundation and a backbone that these women have been striving for over 20 plus years, and it's saying to me, it's like, well, where the hell was this like 20 years ago? Now you're going to bring in this white phenom who's just, carrying the torch. And I say white female, which to me is, we're in a world right now where everything seems to be based on race. And sometimes it gets tiresome because I don't think it should be based on race. It should just be how you are as a person, your quality of play, your quality as a person. And
but that's not going to drive the narrative of the media.
No, well, I mean, exactly. I mean, that's the part where I think she's stuck in a position where I don't know if she's in a win-win situation, because no matter what she does, as great as she's going to do, she's got to prove this for, I think, almost a decade before she gets the recognition of what she's actually doing.
Well, I guess that to me takes it back to what you said 20 years ago. This is where I circle back, and the whole question goes: do women watch women's basketball? And I can see, like, Tyler, we're on X, and I see a lot of guys tweeting about it that follow it now, but it's not going to be, it's got to take over more than that to get this, like, to get a huge crowd. I know they're expanding. I think they have the Golden State team.
The Valkyries.
Yes, good luck
Like
for me saying that one over the years. Like, I feel like that to me is the question, because you're like, well, Clark comes in, the crowd's up 17%, whatever. That's the attendance. Some people say Angel Reese, the factor. I'm sure that she's been a factor as well. So you have more notable names that are coming up. I don't know. Amanda, let me ask you, do you tune in to any games that aren't Caitlin Clark? But I just mean, like, that's what I mean. Like, does the narrative of the WNBA?
I mean,
and I'm not trying to rip on it. I'm just saying that's where the league still has to get to. It's like, it's going to be an uphill battle in that way.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, like, I enjoy watching college basketball more, but I mean, maybe if there are more players that are coming up from colleges that we're seeing more of that play from, then yeah, maybe I'll start tuning in a little bit more. But
I don't know if that's true. I'm not saying for you. I just mean that whole narrative, because there's always been great women's college players that like dominated, and then like I still even question Clark after this year. Is that name going to be enough? Is 15, 6, and 6 going to be enough to keep that narrative going throughout? That's kind of where I kind of question some of that too. Like, I don't know. That's what I
yeah. Has a lot.
But don't you think they'll have growth over? Like, he's not going to be 15, 6, and 6 for her whole career. Like, you look at Steph Curry to start his career, he wasn't averaging what he was 4 years from now. So he's going to figure.
No, but the NBA was already there. As my.
Well, I'm not talking. No, I'm not even talking about the.
Yeah, I think she will get better. What my point is, will the audience continue to stay with her that whole time? Like, next year, will you lose some of those people that were interested in year one? Yes, you'll have your diehards that stay with it. That's where I don't know. I'm just throwing things out. I don't know. I still just question the long term of the like. Oh, I have a daughter too. It's like, so I'll take him to the game, but like, that's where I just feel like some of this stuff is just. I don't know. It's like I feel like we're trying too hard in some. We're trying too hard at it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chase, or go ahead, Amanda.
I mean, I think the media, like I was trying to say, like, I think they are bringing out more of this women's basketball in a good way. I think it's constantly, like, on the TV a lot more, like, as a little girl, like, thinking about it. Like, I don't ever really remember watching any women's basketball except for one, maybe 2 games that mom took me to. Yeah. It was WNBA Sacramento Monarchs game. And then, like, I think a Stanford game. And I feel like because it wasn't really talked about, people were kind of like, oh, whatever. But now, like, if I was a little girl in this time, like, I would want to go to the games. Like, it'd be exciting. Like, you have players that you hear about on the TV and things like that.
Well, you'll have an opportunity, Amanda, now with our team coming in. We'll see. We'll put you to the test with that part of it. No, I hear you. I think she draws a name into it. I'm going to get this up here. This was on this awful announcing. This is Stephen A. Smith on Caitlin Clark this week. Casey, I'm sure you probably saw it as well, and then I'll get to you kind of after it here. It'll be about 50 seconds here.
But there's a broader issue here that can't be escaped. and that is this. She is a white young lady, and she's been a magnet in a way that has benefited the league in ways that others have not, even though their efforts have been worthy and deserving of being as celebrated, if not even more celebrated. And it's a reminder that no matter how far we believe that we have advanced as a society, there's still such a long way to go, because in the end, if you're white, you're bright, you're right, and as a result, the shine comes your way in the eyes of a lot of people in America. Let's transition. Very uncomfortable to touch on, but just factually correct.
So I just find that interesting, that comment, because Tyler, it kind of brings me back to the Casey on this, is that I don't necessarily think it's because it's not necessarily to me that she's white. It's that there's never good white players. Like I don't I mean like elite white, like it's my golf thing. Like I feel like Tiger Woods, like that was different. Like you never saw a black guy play golf, like a primarily white sport, and this guy comes in and like dominates. That's how I kind of view some of the hype too around this, other than her just being she's white. That's what it is. I think it's more just like this, like, well, we don't see that very often with a white person out there dominating basketball. I think that for a lot of people, that imagination of that process is the same as it was for people that got into golf when Tiger Woods was there as well. That's kind of how I look at it with it. What do you make of those comments, Case, from our guy there?
Not our guy.
Yeah. Idiotic, stupid, irrational.
I thought he was kind of right though about some of that part though.
I'm just tired of this race thing, man. I'm just, it's 2024, and I know don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm one of the few, I don't know. I wouldn't say one of the few, but I don't see color. I mean, I really don't. It's impossible not to, but I just see if you're good at something, you're good at something. It doesn't matter white, black, brown, Asian, Cuban, whatever it be, man. It's just like we've got to this point where we're always trying to divide people. And so we have to put them in this type of box where, oh, if you're white and you're a great basketball player, it's unheard of. If, you're
that
black.
Be the killer for the WNBA here? Is this going to be some narrative that always keeps affecting it with her?
I think what they're doing right now is a bad job on the media. I think it should not be put out that way. It should just be, what is she doing great for the league? What has she been doing? Let's celebrate the 2 years, 3 years that she played in Iowa. Let's look at the Angel Reese and the Cameron Brink throwing out the first pitch, at Dodger Stadium with her other WNBA
because I don't think people care about that stuff enough, though.
But we should, and that's the thing that's so frustrating to me, and it just irks me. It really pisses me off. It's just like, yeah, she's an incredible woman. All these women are incredible. They've been laying the foundation for the last 20 years. Let's show some freaking respect for the people instead of just talking about it right now. Why don't they do a better job? And we can do is, why don't we flash back to the 15 years and do Cheryl Swifts and Lisa Leslie highlights and people?
Because we didn't watch. We didn't care enough.
You can't say we as in all of us, because there were people that were watching, Darren, and that's why it pisses me off is, yeah, we might be new to this party, but there are people that have been at that party and sitting at a table and they're just saying, well, where you guys been at? Oh, you got the great white hope now, so now you guys are interested. Yeah, okay, she's a phenomenal player in the first year. Well, show me something else. So it's going to take 5 years, dude, like exactly what Tyler was saying about Steph Curry. He didn't just come in to illuminate it.
That kind of plays.
Go ahead. First take the entertainment, like as soon as they go to Cheryl Swifts, Lisa Leslie, people are changing the channel. Like that just nobody they're so old now that people really don't like. There's obviously a niche group of people who watched back then, but it wasn't a large base thing. And back to the Stephen A. Smith thing, why can't you just be a fan of Caitlin Clark and not have it be some race thing? I like watching Caitlin Clark play because of the way she plays. She's like the Steve Nash of nowadays. It has nothing to do with the other girls.
Make America great again.
I'm just watching her play more than even Asa Wilson, Angel Reese. And you bring up it's because he's white or whatever. The second best player, the MVP last year, was white. It's about numbers. It's math. Of course, she's gonna get the money. because the numbers are there for her. They back her up. Her attendance goes up. When she's on, everything is more money's coming in. Ads are coming in. Like, just because she's white, the followers.
And straight. You keep forgetting that about the other girl last year. That makes a difference. And straight. That also feeds to that same narrative.
I don't think. I don't know. It is what it is.
So, Amanda, I want to ask you something. So, when you played college basketball at the junior college, when you played against a woman, you didn't really care what they look like or what size or what race. You're just like, oh, she's a badass woman. Like, she's killing it right now. I need to stop her. Like, it had, to me, I know you pretty well, but I'm saying I don't think it ever came down to like, oh, she's black, she's white. We need to have a better game plan for her.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's like two different conversations.
Definitely.
Because I mean, here's the thing, like you're saying, like when you're on the court, yeah, I'm not like looking at like a player and determining that. But having said that, like I'm also thinking about what the broadcaster is saying, and I mean, to be honest, I don't feel like I can comment on that. I'm not a black woman. I don't know what that feels like. I mean, it's a different point than you guys are bringing, but
well, how about even if you're a white woman and you were in the league 20 years ago and you feel like you're one of the better players and you didn't get the credit back then for it?
Yeah, I mean, I hear all different sides. I mean, I'm trying to be like diplomatic, but like at the same time, like I really do. I think I understand where he's coming from. I know that's probably like not the point of view that, a lot of people have, but I can also understand maybe like an Angel Reese coming in and being like, I brought all this to the game, but maybe is it because of the way that she's, on social media saying things and commenting, is that affecting people's minds? I think it's just, for me, on the court, yes, I feel like you're looking at skill. Definitely. You're not looking at anything else. And I do feel like we should address just skill, but I don't think we're not there. There's a big picture and we're not just focusing on that. I wish it was that simple, but it's not. There's a bigger picture that we're looking at. And unfortunately, we're still not there in times.
Well, we're not at the point yet where it's like, go ahead, T.
Sabrina got to shoot against Steph Curry, and there wasn't one racial thing brought up. A white woman got to bring her platform to the NBA three-point contest, and there wasn't one racial thing brought up. There's something about Caitlin Clark that is just different.
I mean, I definitely think she brings out a different element or something that, I think.
I think where she went to college, being there 4 years, be the all-time scorer. I think that, that's a different part of the market that Oregon is and stuff like that.
I think there's just something about it. I don't know. Like, I remember playing, and there's always like that one person that everyone's like talking about, like, oh, she's so good. She started this league, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of it gets annoying. So I wonder if it's just like, it's just down people's throat too much that it's just like, man, she's just annoying. Like,
I think that's a lot of
like
it too.
She's almost like too good. It's from like a jealousy point. I think we're all like, oh, like I'm just sick of hearing about her.
I think that's kind of where a lot of this stems from there. I think there is that part of it for sure. It's an interesting conversation. I mean, like maybe we'll get to the point where Casey's like, yeah, we'll just be able to talk about the skill all the time with it. But like, I don't know. I don't find myself yet watching all the games yet. I do find myself checking out on Clark's stats a little bit more, maybe like that once in a while, but I haven't yet, Casey, been able to like, and it's not me hating. I'd rather watch the baseball game on, or I'd rather do something. It's just not quite there yet for me. It's the same thing with hockey. Like I don't watch hockey till the playoffs. You know what I mean? So it just hasn't been able to. I don't know. I think I'm still with Amanda. I think college basketball for me is still where I kind of tend to lean a little bit more towards than the WNBA. So I don't know. We'll be curious if that narrative. I mean, how many games? You're the one that watches. You're the one that talks about the most here. How many games do you honestly watch a week?
Me?
No, Casey.
I don't know.
I usually can watch about 3.
3 games a week.
Yeah, give or take about 2 or 3. Yeah, I would say. I'm not saying the full 48, but I mean, or not the full game, but
no,
I think they only play 40.
That's right. I caught myself when I said that. I just, but it's I like, I just like the style, Brandon, much as you say, like, Angel Reese with 2-foot jump shot. I've seen Steph Curry do layups. He can't dunk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not everyone
Hold
can
on,
dunk. Not every,
I'm not saying you have to dunk. Not do a 2-footed jump stop like third graders in CYO. I don't know.
oh,
It's
see,
some
see,
foolish.
see, so that's where the backhanded compliment is
It's
just.
not even a compliment. It's strictly
You just
backhand.
said third grade. You said third grade,
I
Tyler.
could do a I could do a 2-footed jump stop and make a layup in third grade. Yes, maybe not 100% of the time, but I could attempt it. I can't do some of the things that Caitlin Clark was doing in third grade.
No, but I'm just saying that you're taking one play or one person in the equation where, I mean, there's so much more that goes into it. I mean, the one thing I will say, and I know maybe move on here, is the physicality of the women's game, I think, and the refereeing is absolutely dog crap. Like, some of the refereeing is so horrible. I remember watching, like, our sisters play. The referee, you'd, like, hear slaps from, like, the second like deck, and you're like, well, everyone stops, and it's like, well, keep playing. It's like, no, like like at some point you got to realize that, like, yeah, there's 10 women on the floor. Like, if everyone stops, it's probably something wrong. So I just think there's a lot of things in the women's game that needs to change, and I'm not saying change the rules for Caitlin Clark. I'm saying change the rules for everyone.
Change the layups apparently for
See, Amanda brought up
layups.
Amanda brought up the two separate conversations. I just want to touch on the court. I love that they're going at Caitlin Clark harder and doing what, like, foul her a little harder if you like want to send a message. Make her earn what she's getting. Like, they shouldn't just be like, oh yeah, let's make her look good. Like, that's crazy. So, like, on the court, I like that they foul her and give her, like, and make her earn her keep.
I agree. Go ahead, Beta.
Like, it's like, welcome to the league. Like, it's almost like that initiation. Like, we want to see if you can stick it out. And which I know, like, everyone's like, oh, that's too hard and all that stuff. But I mean, I think there's a line, and some players I think might be close to crossing that line. But I think there's that, good competition. But yeah, I don't know. There's that fine line, and some are kind of close to taking it too far, in my opinion.
Hey, before I go, can I ask you guys a question real quick? Do you think she needs to address the, like, race baiting? Because she sort of plays it off like, I don't pay attention to it. It's not my problem. I'm just playing here to play basketball.
I think so. I mean, I think it's relevant, right? I mean, I think she should.
T, you still got 5 minutes, or you got to go?
I got really quick.
All right. So, all right. So that was a good conversation on Caitlin Clark there. And probably obviously the most we've talked about. In case, like I said, we'll see where the narrative changed there. Maybe by this time next year, is it more about the show, the play there with it? All right. Before we get to winners and losers, I thought this would be a good Father's Day thing to start with. It, Tyler, where you got to go? You got to go with it. All right. I feel like between the three of us here, right, Amanda, Casey, Tyler, you obviously have your own experience with it, but we all three went to Raiders games a ton with our dad. On that was like one of our main things we used to look forward to. He got the season tickets back in 1996, I believe, 95 when they came back. We all went every year, at least once, some of us twice, given on the schedules and stuff like that. Always good times with dad. Always one of our, probably something we probably all kind of look back on fondly. Terrible nachos, soda, all that good stuff. Man, I've talked about this a little bit about Casey, but is there a moment for you going to all those Raider games over the years, like a funny moment, something like, does the women's bathroom have urinals too? No, I was getting like, what is it about the Raiders stadium? Do you guys have bathtubs that you pee into as well?
I mean, I kind of have a funny story, but this might be kind of relevant to Father's Day because it speaks to my dad. Crazy me. I ran a half marathon in Berkeley. My dad met me at the BART station, and we went to the Coliseum, like no biggie. And I'm like starving. I'm ready for those nachos that you're talking about and a big Coke. We're like running in, and as soon as we're running in, this big, huge guy, like probably 6'8", just drops to the ground. And there's my dad like sprinting over, and we're like, wife's like frantic, like, what's going on? And the little boy's there, and we're like, what's going on? And my dad's like, hey, did he have a couple beers before the game? And his wife's like, oh, yeah. And we're like, oh, okay. But the security guard came over and he's like, sir, you can't touch him. And I'm like, he's a firefighter.
He's a firefighter.
About it because I was like hangry, and this guy went down to the security guard but I think it just kind of speaks to that Oakland, like you never know what you're gonna get. And
that is true.
Crazy.
That's a good story. I've had that one. Yeah. Have you seen any fights between women in the bathrooms? Is that anything that you see in line getting food? Have you ever seen any fights between women, or only guys there?
I don't think I've ever seen any women fights because
you've had to hear some women cussing though. I'm assuming.
They're cussing.
They're like the worst there. Some of them. How many people? I don't know, like Casey, those are like some of the fun stories that we have with it, doing that on Father's Day. T, before you go.
I got to get out of here. Happy Father's Day, Bob. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Darren, happy Father's Day. Amanda, happy Doodle Mother's Day.
Look at this guy. This guy's one of the best fathers. You guys
I'm out here.
Practice every Saturday, every Sunday. This guy, every Sunday, Tyler. Yep. Casey, what do you make of it with Dad with Father's Day going to Raiders games?
Oh man, there's a bunch of them, man. I mean, like I said, the most epic is when he pulled me out of school for the first and only time I think I've ever been allowed to like get out of school early is when we went to the Monday night game. Saw Andre Rison score the game-winning touchdown, and then I think Mom would probably kill Dad at the time. But we parked so far away from the stadium, not even in the stadium, so we were like just walking on the outskirts of like in neighborhoods. Like along the barbed wire fence, and and so we got there, and so it was like one of those like I'm gotta be 12 or 11 years old, and I was just like, man, this place is pretty scary. And then fast forward to as I'm older, and which nowadays I don't think you'll ever be allowed to see, is we went to see the Patriots when Tom Brady had, I think it was after the tuck rule that year, and you just see ropes just around Tom Brady puppets, like hanging them and stuff, and like just a whole different world. And so yeah, and but I would say the fondest memories are just like what Amanda's saying. God, I can't wait for the nachos and a big ass Coke. And I remember when they switched up nachos, and he goes, what the hell happened to the chicken nachos? And it was like it almost felt like Dad was like, we're not going to go to the games anymore until they get these chicken nachos back.
They changed it up on it way too much.
They just did chips and cheese. I was like, where's the pico de gallo? Where's the jalapenos? Where's the chicken? It was just like, oh, we just do chips and cheese. I was like, this is bull crap.
That's hilarious. They want to do anything like that. That's funny. Yeah, they got the nachos were always the big thing. I remember Mom never wanted to go. That was always right. Mom went to one game. That was always my favorite. I was like, Mom never wanted to go, like, at all. She was like too disgusted by the environment. Like that's kind of what I remember. Like, oh, I know that lady puked down the stairs. Like, I go, this is not my place. That's it definitely was a certain crowd when you went to Oakland Raider games. Definitely was a certain crowd.
I don't think I could not see Mom sitting on a BART train watching people like pass out, do drugs, and get drunk, and that was not Mom's thing.
No, that was not Mom's thing. That was kind of one of my favorite funny things was that Mom never wanted to actually do it. For me, that was what was funny about it. Those were some good times with Dad there on Father's Day. So happy Father's Day. We'll see you later today. Of course, at the house here in a little bit. All right. Hey, before we get out of here, we'll get I got some winners and losers of the week. You guys can react on it for me as well. I'll go first. Winners or losers of the week. It's been such a boring NBA Finals. I haven't tuned into too much of it. Amanda, have you guys been watching it? You guys watch Angela watch any of it? It's been so boring, the NBA Finals.
No, I watched a couple games at the house with Mom and Dad and Casey, but I mean, honestly, like I kind of stopped watching halfway through. I think I left, went upstairs to watch some reality TV show because that's how boring it was.
Are you still the Vanderpump person? Is that what the show? Are you still
yes.
How do you watch that show? I saw a preview. I was like, my goodness. That seems like almost. I don't even know how these type of people exist. I'm like, I was just like, how do guys like even get a hairstyle like that? Like, how does it come to like that part of your life? Like, I was like stunned when I watched some of that.
Our Vanderpump reunion is like the NBA Finals.
Oh my God. Brian, once in a while, Brian, if you're out there, he's always like, yeah, I watch it. I'm like, oh, good God, Brian. I'm like, yeah, what's going on here? Watching Vanderpump with it. Case, it's been an awful finals for me. It just hasn't been an entertaining one. I don't know. It feels like it just doesn't feel like the NBA finals for some reason. It feels like kind of, I don't know. I haven't been impressed with the quality of play.
Yeah, no, it's been a poor product that just gives you more of a chance to catch out the WNBA.
I guess so. This case, you should keep promoting it along the way here. I appreciate it. All right, so that was one of my losers of the week. I also had over there I had the finals of it. Winner of the week. Everybody remember Big Tim Lincecum? Can you believe it? He's 40 years old as well. That's how I'm going to be. I'll be 40 next month. Well, coming up here next month. So he'll be 40 as well. I got to get this play on the screen. This was a guy in Memphis. He thinks he hits a home run. All right. And let's just see what happens here. I'll get it up on the stage here. Here we go.
Out to 1-1 pitch. Perez launches this one out to left center. And the wind, oh my goodness, going to knock it down.
He thought he had a home run.
Watch. So did I. Malloy makes the catch.
Watch, he keeps running.
Perez, I think. It's out. Around the bases.
He thinks it's gone. Oh, no.
Poor guy.
Ouch. That is not good when you think that happens, right? That's great. He like totally pipped it. He's like, I love when he was running by second and he points to his boys out in the bullpen, like, I got you out there. I did it. That's a loser of the week with that one as well. So I thought that was a good loser of the week. Yo, that's like shooting what's that famous basketball one with Nick Young where he shoots the three and he turns his head the other way, right? And then it goes in and out. He doesn't end up making the three. That was good stuff. Amanda, appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you. Fun times.
It was good. We got to get you back on for another show here too.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, do we not get a loser and winner of the week, or we chop liver?
If you're prepared, you got one. Give it to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got a great one for you guys. It's part of the animal kingdom. So I went outside and before I head outside, let me get a little backstory. My buddy goes, he's got the cat, and you hear the bird, which was Amanda. We avoided outside, but you hear him just like, and then he goes, and he takes the bird out of the mouth and whatever, puts it outside in front. And I go, what's up? He's like, don't go out there. I'm like, why? What's up? Like, what's going on? He's like, I'll just let you know, like, there's a bird. I put the cat in the house, and he's like, there's a bunch of cats out there. And I go, what the fuck? Like, big, like, what is this? Like, he's like, I'm gonna get like jumped by cats, like whatever. So like, I turn on the light and I see this cat like staring at me, and then I see a little bird, and I'm like, oh shit, like it's wounded. And all of a sudden, I felt like it was accessory to murder. Like I flipped on the light, and as soon as I did that, I was like, saw the other cat, and then this cat comes out of nowhere and just grabs the bird, and they just all run off to the middle of like, and I was like, well, I think I just murdered the bird. I was like, I shed the light on it, and I was like, well, that's the animal kingdom, my friend. I was just like, oh, I put him out of his misery. And I was like, all the cats I felt were like, yeah, dap him up. Thanks, big dog. I appreciate the help. I was like, no, that's not what I was trying to do.
Sounds like you got a neighbor feeding cats around there. Sounds like you got a neighbor feeding feral cats around there.
That was so bad. I was like, man, what the hell did I just do? I flipped on the light to give away the bird's cover, and all of a sudden it was just like, hey, what's up, dude? Appreciate it, homie. Peace.
If it makes you feel better, cats can see at night, so you're good. They would have saw it. They would have been able to get it down. That's funny. Yeah, cat. We were talking about cats the other day with Regina. Went over to the party. She's like, yeah, I used to be allergic, and now I'm not. Now I'm like, how does that work? I was like, how does that? How do you remember that? So, all right, good show, Amanda. Are you coming down today?
I got one comment. Maybe this will be my loser of the week. Probably for the last 15 minutes here, I've had a fly that just has been in my face, on my phone. So if you see me swatting around, that's what it is.
I know. I've seen you the whole show.
I thought you were just getting a workout in. I thought you were just getting.
I thought Angela was trying to get in the picture.
I remember when I first started, like there was a fly because sometimes like in the summer it gets hot here, so I'll open up the door and like a fly will get it or something like that, and I'd be like podcasting and
It's on my right now. It won't leave.
I will say one winner of the week that I did get a privilege to watch. Benny the Jet is finally created. It looks like you've done a good job trading him.
Yes, he's working
Benny. Big Benny is Benny making an appearance today, or is he?
He's upstairs snoozing.
He's out snoozing there. All right, that was a good show, guys. That was fun. Amanda, you got to get back on sooner. We won't make it a 5-year wait. We'll get you back on it sooner than the next one. So, all right, for Amanda Briare join us. We got Casey Briare. Yes, that's right. I'm Darren Briare. We'll see you guys next time on Fatboy FadeAway Sports. Peace.
Bye.